So if we tackle the first area, collaboration and communication, the main thing to take away from here is before, all that communication was done in person. So you can imagine everything was more organic, the communication was instant, immediate, faster, easier, because everything happened in person. But once you move that interaction online, it can be trickier, even though technology has advanced so much. It's hard to just swing by someone's desk to say hello, and tap them on the shoulder if you need to follow up. So collaboration has changed. You might start off really motivated, but when your prompts over Slack, email, receive little response, you might feel disconnected, maybe out of the loop, not feeling very productive, and probably pretty stressed, since a lot of our work does require some collaboration, despite all the notifications we get. So what that does is, you get these delayed responses, not only cost you from a time perspective, that we might have a lot of, and maybe it's hard to utilize well, but we also feel the following impacts, right? Reduced productivity, having to constantly wait on responses, maybe your projects slow down, and feedback is slower, so everything is just kind of a domino effect. Diminishing productivity means, you might feel disconnected. 23% of remote workers might feel dissatisfied, just overall. And with that dissatisfaction, maybe people change jobs. Unhappy employees and teams could contribute to those 59% of higher turnover rates. So feeling that impact all around. So what can we do? So something our team came up with was, maybe we need a collaboration bot. And what does that do? It lets you request feedback or responses really easily. There's going to be automatic reminders based on priority. So not all messages, but just the ones that you need to hear and see at the right time, so that you can also track and manage those responses in a queue fashion. Think of it as a virtual tap on the shoulder. You don't need to remember to ping someone to follow up on something to make sure your project stays on track. And really the bottom line is, instant responses will result in faster, higher quality work and happier and more connected teams. So I'm going to hand this over to Raina, and she's going to walk us through what that looks like.
All right, so we're going to walk through this collaboration bot. So let's say I have a deadline coming up and I need a draft to be reviewed before wrapping up a project. So using Slack shortcuts, I can actually pull up collaboration bot's request form in any conversation that I'm having in my Slack workspace. So for the sake of this demo, I'll be in both the requester's shoes as well as the reviewer's shoes, and I'll show the experience, what that looks like from both perspectives. So I'll send a request, we'll do it to myself right now, to review this draft. I'll write up a short description of what this is for, so finalize project draft. I have this link for the doc, and then I will set the deadline to be tomorrow because it's an urgent request. I need it to be looked at pretty quickly. And then I will set the priority to high. So after hitting submit as a requester, I will receive confirmation that my request has been submitted. And here's what this would look like on the reviewer's end. So I get a notification that tells me the priority of this request. It's a high priority request. We can see who it's from, what the deadline is, what it's for, and the link is shared directly. So I can review the doc right away if I have time. So over on the app home, I can actually see that there's an overview of two types of requests. So here on the left, we have open requests that I've received as a reviewer that I need to reply to. And then over on the right, requests that I'm awaiting a response for as a requester. So going back to the original request that we just submitted, as a reviewer, I can actually click into the doc. If I need to make any changes, I can do so over here. Once I'm done with it, I can simply go back to collaboration bot, click on reviewed, and that would remove the request from my view, and the original requester would receive a notification that it's been completed. If we scroll down on this view, I can also take a look at the requests that I have sent out and the ones that I'm waiting responses for. And so if need be, maybe my reviewer hasn't seen my request, and so I want to send a manual reminder. So kind of that tap on the shoulder that Amanda was talking about. So I can send a manual reminder if it's been a day or two. So when I click on that, it will send a notification to the reviewer as well as to me, the requester. So it seems like, you know, I need this request to be reviewed, and here's just a confirmation that I've actually sent that reminder. So I can also update request deadlines on the app home view. So maybe, you know, I needed it tomorrow, but my deadline is actually pushed to next week. So I can change it to Mondays, or to, I need the review by Friday. So I'll update that date here. So I'll submit that. You should receive a confirmation. So there's been a deadline change, and I've successfully changed the deadline. And then over on the app home view, we should also see that this is updated to Friday now. So you can see that on both views. So what about the requests that aren't reviewed right away, right? Those kind of reminders that Amanda was talking about. So if I scroll up here to my reminder from earlier in the day, this is what my daily reminder might look like. It clearly lets me know the number of requests that need to be completed, the priority levels, and now I can keep track of all of my requests submitted and received, and get those urgent responses that I need relatively quickly. And you know, Collaboration Bot enables you to kind of produce higher quality work because you are kind of reinforcing that feedback loop. It helps your projects, it keeps them moving forward, it helps teams work better together. And the best part is now that I don't feel disconnected from my team anymore. I'm in the loop, I know my requests aren't lost, nothing has kind of fallen through the cracks or is forgotten. So Collaboration Bot alleviates some of that stress as well.